Hey, do you have a minute? Hopefully you do, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. I hope you've been enjoying our last couple of episodes that we've been putting out because I know that you will definitely enjoy this episode today. As you can see, I have a special guest with me today. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Latoya Valentine, aka An Valenti. I am a business owner, a nonprofit organization owner, and I'm also in the process of writing a book.
Okay. You said you were a business owner. Can you give us a little bit of insight about your business?
Yes, absolutely. So I am a brand first. So An Valenti is a spinoff of my name, so it's a part of my name. Established 1984. I was born in 1984. I use the imperfect heart shape because my last name is Valentine. I also use the my face as a logo as well. That was just something creative that I wanted to do. I also used the 1984 Care Bear, which is a lion. I'm a Leo. That Care Bear was created in 1984. So all things 1984. I like I said, I'm a brand first, but the dope part of my brand is that I also offer many custom services such as custom hoodies, hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, banners, backdrops. If you need like custom tablecloths, and I even do like custom obituaries and business cards, and so I offer a lot of different custom services as well outside of being a brand.
Okay. And if I'm correct, your brand name not slogan is who needs a heart.
Who needs a heart? Yes. So that is my slogan. So that's kind of an open-ended question. So it's who needs a heart with a question and an explanation point at the end. So who needs a heart can be like if you're feeling like screw love, like I'm over it, like I don't want no love. So also it could be I want all the love. Who needs a heart? Like I'm showering people with love. So it's a mood line. So Anne Valenti is based off of that who needs a heart, that's based off of whatever mood you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I got that saying from Tina Turner's song that was What's Love Got to Do with It, that came out in 1984. Who needs a heart? That's a part of her song. So I looked at it like, that would be creative to use because I already used a heart. It's already a love line. And what better saying than who needs a heart when you have a brand that represents love.
Right. That's dope. That's really, really dope. So what was the most difficult part of starting your business and how did you overcome that? Or it was like your most difficult phase in your business? Because I know you talked about starting your business in 2018 and then COVID happened and then you had to like shift the whole type of work that your business did. So can you just, if that wasn't the most difficult, can you just give us some more insight on what may have been the most difficult part?
It probably was that because it was a scary thing. Like I said, I was just in the height of doing my business. I was like going to like local bars. I was selling my hats and selling T-shirts and doing like little local pop-ups and stuff like that. And then COVID hit, so I had to figure out a way to make money, but also keep my head above water at a time of a pandemic. So I looked at, I was strategic and said, what can I do, to help people right now, but also keep my business going. So I remember in instance, I was with a group of friends and they was all supposed to go out and I stayed back because I wanted to learn how to sew and perfect these face masks. And that was one of the best things I've ever could have done because me staying back, I've learned how to make those face masks. I was going to Joanne Fabrics. Me and my friend, we was cutting fabrics from sun up to sundown, and it was a good time. Like I was able to overcome, that obstacle of trying to figure out what to do as far as with my business by making custom face masks. I was selling them to the whole town. Everybody was buying them for me. So, I mean, that was a difficult time, but I definitely overcame it because I was, I thought strategically. I didn't let it get the best of me, and I
Right.
figured out a way how to overcome. And also at the same time, it was a fulfilling thing to be able to for me to do because I was able to provide a need that was so needed because at the beginning of the pandemic, Amazon was down. Nobody was really delivering. So for me to be able to help those around me, but at the same time, still be successful, still be able to make money during a pandemic was a very it was a high moment for me.
So
I'll say
would you
that.
also say that in the most scariest time of your business,
Hmm.
being COVID,
Yeah.
that was also the most beneficial time for
It
your
was, it
business?
was, it was because it was. I had to think fast, like so. It was either sink or swim. So I either could have let COVID get the best of me and said, people are not going to want sweatshirts and t-shirts, and just said forget it. What I did was it lit a fire under me, and um it made me who I am today. It made me creative. It made me also. That's how I created the whole doing the customs and also my brand, because I figure everybody's not going to want to buy An Valenti t-shirt. Everybody's not going to want to buy a hoodie. What is it that I can do at this time to meet the needs of others? So that's why my brand is kind of different from others, because not only do I have a brand, but I also offer things tailored to other people's needs. If someone want to start a clothing line, or if they want a T-shirt, or someone's having a funeral, baby shower, whatever the need is, graduations, I can meet that need. So my business is a pretty well-rounded type of business because
Mm-hmm.
what I can do, what services I can offer. And I also, on top of all of that, I do styling. I'm also really into fashion. I do styling and imaging consulting. I'm also a personal shopper. So,
All things fashion,
all things fashion,
all
all
things
things printing, all
clothing.
things
Yeah.
clothing. So that's just, and I love it.
So, what would be, if you could just like quickly think on your feet, what
Mhm.
would be the most common order that you get in your business?
The most common order, honestly, is I do a lot of business to business. So I'm out a lot. I'm always meeting new people. So the business that I really get the most is custom orders, as far as like businesses, like people that own construction companies, or
Okay.
people that might have a bakery or something like that. Or also, I do well. Not to say it's not maybe a good thing, but with funerals, I mean, I get a lot of those orders too, because people want memorabilia, from their loved ones that might have passed away. So that's another big part of my business.
Yeah. How do you balance staying authentic to yourself while growing a business in such a competitive industry? Like, there's so many different types of brands. There's high fashion brands.
Yeah.
There's other brands like lower fashion brands and stuff like that. There's people who are doing custom orders, like custom ink
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So how
Mhm.
do you balance that? Like, how do you balance just being in the middle of, like, you do this, you do that, like, you want your business, you clearly want to take your personal brand to
Mhm.
heights, but
Mhm.
also being a service provider for other people's brands?
So how I balance my brand, as far as like you saying, as far as the competitive market. So I feel like I'm really probably one of the only brands that really has a brand and also offer custom services. So that right there alone sets me aside from the market in itself. Because if you think about high fashion brands like Gucci and Balenciaga, and they don't offer really custom services. They may offer, like, as far as like custom tailoring services, to where, as though if something might be too big or too small or something like that, but you can't go in Gucci and get a shirt made if your loved one passed away.
Yeah.
Just like I'm gonna go lower, H&M. You can go in there and get affordable, high, fashionable clothes, but and again, you can't walk in there and get a custom T-shirt. So far as me, you can get a high fashion piece and you can also get a low fashion piece, but you can at the same time get something custom as well. So that will always pretty much separate me aside from the industry in itself, because of the versatility that my business has.
Did you do this on purpose, or is this something that just kind of happened as your business progressed?
It was something that kind of happened. Like I said, during COVID, that kind of brought out the custom side of
The
me,
dog in
the
your
dog in me,
business.
right? Because I taught myself how to do everything. First of all, like, I taught myself, I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to do all the printing, how to navigate the equipment, all of that stuff. And a lot of it came easy to me because, like, I do have a background in engineering. I have a degree in computer engineering. So I was able to teach. I'm self-taught. So I was able to teach myself how to do everything. So with going through such a trying time, I just was creative. Like, okay, what do people need? Okay, you need a t-shirt. You need this. You need some face masks. You need this. That was a way to always keep myself in business, because I didn't know what the state America was going to be in
Right.
during COVID. So I figured that's a time that I had to adapt. I adapted in that time to what was going on. So that's where the custom side of me came from, because I had no choice but to go with what was going on in order to keep my business afloat.
And yo, I kind of do want to do a little shout out. So this light, y'all see this light all the time in the back of my videos. This light is actually her brand. This light is her heart. This is who needs a heart, An Valenti heart. This is her heart. It's a not perfectly shaped heart, but you can see that as a heart. Can you tell us why you didn't choose for your heart to be perfectly shaped?
Well, I choose the imperfect heart because the heart is not perfect. Love is not perfect. It's imperfect, you know. So love, there will never be, is no such thing as a perfect love. So I chose the shape of an imperfect heart on purpose because that's just what love is.
Mm-hmm.
It's imperfection to it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And also another shout out. This shirt that I have on now is actually from An Valenti. Um, it says An Valenti 1984. And just little logo, so cute. Can you also show us what you have on today?
Oh yeah, so I have a custom sweatshirt on that I actually me and my daughter, she actually helped me. She airbrushed it, so it's the An Valenti, the AV, and then I have the heart right here. So
The imperfect art.
the imperfect heart. I
Mm-hmm.
also have the I don't know if y'all can see it, the beanie hat like with the hearts on it. So that's just one of my brands, logos that I use. So
Yeah. And a lot of times, like, y'all may catch me because I wear it all the time. Like, I have so many An Valenti clothes because she's my mom. And of course, I'm just going to go raid her closet and just go take anything. So
as
you'll
always.
catch me walking around with a hoodie with like a imperfect red heart emblem or a shirt with a red heart emblem. It's just kind of like my cozy wear because I have so many different pieces like I can always just throw it on. But I always say to her like when your business goes up and it's rich, I'm like selling this for way more than what you it would retail for. Like I'm like, yeah, especially because I'm gonna be rich. So I'm like, yeah. An
Okay.
Valenti worn by Siani on Depop,
Um,
250 a shirt. Like no.
I was trying to profit off me, but when it's time to make them shirts, ask her where
I'm
she at.
ghost. I'm
Yeah,
ghost. When it's
ask her
time to
where she
make
at.
those shirts, it's not my brand.
Yeah,
Not my brand.
yeah.
Not my passion.
Not her passion, but yeah,
It's like no, y'all. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little shout out.
it's important as an entrepreneur to give back. And also speaking of, Ann Valenti is also starting a nonprofit organization as well.
Mm-hmm.
And all proceeds that we make from our nonprofit is going to go towards. It's called Voices. So we have a nonprofit that is going to be dealing with people that deals with mental issues, schizophrenia. And I'm going to be it's personal for me because my mother, she was diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia, and it's just a way for me to want to give back, as far as people that suffers from mental health, and that's such a rare diagnosis, and it's not a lot of resources for it. So that's something that else that we're also doing. We're also writing a book which helps people
Some
to.
big things coming up.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm also writing a book, and it's a depiction on what it's like to have schizophrenia, because a lot of people don't understand what schizophrenia is, and when they see people out here with mental health, they look at them like they are like on drugs or something like that, and a lot of people don't realize that mental health and drug use is it's all kind of
Like
like
interconnected.
interconnected because the symptoms are the same. So a lot of them, they might hear voices and see things and be delusional. Those are the same symptoms that people have, when they have schizophrenia. So I want to be able to educate people so they know how to, kind of better determine when they might come across someone like that, to not look at them like they're just a crackhead or a drunk or something like that. They could be going through some things. That's something that's near and dear to the heart for me. We should be done doing this book, by the end of this year. I have it published, at the beginning of next year. So, we got a lot of things going.
Period.
Yeah,
Period. Some big things.
yeah.
I love the giving back. If y'all watched my last episode, I actually talked about that about mental health, and I talked about my grandmom, having mental health issues my whole life, and like how I've seen mental health from the views of a child, because that's not really common. I feel like people don't really understand how mental health really can affect a family or how it really can affect people until you grow up and you actually see how it affects someone. So
Right.
I just definitely love everything that you have going on, especially with like wanting to educate people on it, because a lot of people really don't know. And I feel like mental health really isn't talked about until it is. It's not really talked about. Well, I mean, now it's a little bit more talked about, but it's
Right.
when it's drastic. It's when people are
Right.
committing or stuff is happening to them.
Right.
It's not so, or it's just like put them on medicine, do this, do that, but people don't are not really trying to educate themselves on how to actually deal with people and deal with what they have going on.
Right. But also the problem is there's no one out here educating people on what it is. See, you don't know until you know, like you said.
Yeah.
So the problem is there's not a lot of resources around here. There's not a lot of people that are advocating for these people that have mental health. They closed down one of the facilities, where I live at, as far as where these people used to go in the need of a crisis. So that's also something else that I'm trying to do, is to be able to raise money and get more resources and provide education, and also get resources for family, because not only the person dealing with the mental health
With the
situation,
family,
but the
yeah.
family also needs help as well,
Yeah.
because like I said, my mother and her grandmother, that took a toll on us as a family, dealing with a family member that was so close and near and dear to the heart, to have such a bad diagnosis and not really knowing what to do. So I feel like I'm at a point in my life as well now. I'm older, I'm more educated, and it's like now I'm able to do something, versus I've dealt with the mental health with my mom since I was young. I didn't know what to do. I was too young.
Yeah.
The maturity wasn't there. I had kids young. Life was just life and so much. I just didn't really know where to start. So now I feel like my kids are grown. I'm more mature, more educated as far as with what mental health looks like. So now I'm able to make a change, and I'm glad that I'm able to do something about it now. So
Yeah. So stay tuned for the An Valenti giveaways, and I'll post her Instagram page, and also if you have an ad created, I'll post it up here.
my Instagram name is An Valenti official, ANVALENTI official. So that's my Instagram. That's the way that y'all can get in contact with me. Also, my email is AVALENTIEST 1984 at gmail.com. And like Siani said, she'll post the rest of my information
Mhm.
for those who want to connect with me as far as my nonprofit, those who may want to donate and help me, because like I said, I am in the early phases of actually getting everything started. So if anyone wants to maybe collab with me, or anything, any services that you may need, or any resources that your family may need, or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me.
Period. Period. All right, we're gonna hop back to these questions. We just had to have a little intermission, a little support black businesses, support
Okay.
businesses out here. Yeah. Period. Pay me for the sponsors. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I'll pay
um.
you. You got the t-shirt on. Yeah.
um. So, as someone with a unique perspective, how do you approach designing clothes that resonate with your audience?
Okay. So I basically, I look at, what people are wearing today, but I also keep it unique to, because it's my brand.
Mhm.
So I don't really try to follow the masses, so I don't really try to look at what everybody else is doing.
Mhm.
My brand is based off of, it's my eye. My brand is based off of me.
Mhm.
It's more like, it's geared towards like more comfortable wear, because I like to be comfortable,
Right.
but I also like to be high fashion mixed. So, I'll put a sweatsuit on with some Gucci sneakers and a trench coat on, or a t-shirt. Like, I like comfy wear, but that's also like really good quality.
Mhm.
So that's just always going to be like what my brand is, because that's who I am. I like to be comfortable, but high end mixed.
Right.
So like I said, I don't really go off of like what the masses is doing. I mean, I pay attention, I look, I keep a open eye to it, but it's unique to me. I'm not following a wave or anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just basically, um, you know,
And that's the good thing too, because I feel like where a lot of businesses and like brands go wrong is following trends, because when you follow trends, trends always go out of
Right.
style. So if your brand is always just unique to you and everything that you want to do, it will never go out of style.
Right, it won't, because like I said, I mean, of course I might have like some like unique like colorways, maybe like I might, do some spin-offs on breast cancer awareness, or gay pride and stuff like that. But my brand is my brand, just like you said, trends go out of style. So I'm trying to be, something that's just always pretty much the same,
Right.
to where as though it's like I'm not trying to follow this wave, because once that wave is done, then you got to try to keep up with another one. And by the time you do all of that, you done diluted yourself. You lose who you are.
Mhm.
So I don't wish to follow in that direction. So
Yeah.
I'd rather keep it, simple, keep it geared to like one direction, and offer some like varieties of different things. But it's like it's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
So
How do you balance the demands of entrepreneurship while taking care of your personal well-being?
um it's hard sometimes. I find myself like always working. Like even on my downtime, I'm kind of working, like even just mentally. So it's like during my downtime, if I'm in a bar or something, or if I'm out, I'm constantly giving out business cards, or constantly thinking of ways to, what I can do to make my business grow. But I mean, I do it.
Mhm.
I find a way, I find the time. But for me, it's like I love what I do. So it's not like a burden. It's not like trying to balance it. It's not like I wake up in the morning, hating what I do. And that's the joy in what I do, because I love what I do.
Mhm.
So for me, it's An Valenti is a 24/7 thing, because it's me, so it's like it never shuts off. And it's like, it's just me. So the balance is just.
So you would say that you still do have a personal life
Oh
though.
yeah, yeah, of course. I have definitely have a personal life, but I mean, I find myself, like I said, business is always related to that,
Yeah.
like I said. But it is what it is, though, because when you do what you love, you're not working. So
Yeah. True. What does success mean to you now compared to when you first started your business?
so when I first started, I wanted to be like rich. I wanted to have all this
Classic.
money. Right. So now I want the difference is now is I want the freedom that comes with having money. So it's not the money I want. I want the freedom that money allows you to have.
Mhm.
Versus when I started, I just wanted the money. So now I want to be able to have the freedom of what money offers, so
Mhm.
it's a difference, but I also want a legacy as well too. I want to be able to pass this down to my kids and my grandkids. So it's like I just want this to be something to where as though my whole family always have to fall on. So at the beginning it was just, oh, I want to make money. Oh, I want my stuff in every store. Now it's like, I want longevity, and now I'm thinking about ways of how to make it grow, but also, like I said, having the financial freedom that money offers, not just having the money.
So in the
So
beginning, if somebody offered to buy your business off for like $2 or $3 million in the beginning, would you have sold it?
I probably would have.
And now, if somebody
No,
offered that,
no, because I feel like that would like it's like because it's so me. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even be able to start over.
yeah,
So it's like, how can I start over with something that's me? There's no way for me to do Anne Valenti again. Like, because what else would I do? It's not like I named the business Love, or I named it after me. So if I sell it, it's like, okay, what would I do now?
yeah,
So it's too personal. So it's like it's money wouldn't even be able to replace the personalization that my business has when it comes to the thought outness, and when it comes to um everything that comes with my business. It's too personal. Let's say
yeah,
money wouldn't be able to replace all of the nights of me being up, and sitting on the phone with my friends thinking of names, and thinking of different ways to brand. And it's just, no, I just, even an imperfect heart, you know what I'm saying, like all of that, like I would just really if I would have sold at the beginning, like now, I would have felt some type of way. I'd have felt like a sellout, like, dag, like, what can I do now? Because when somebody buy you out, there's certain rules to that.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can create, like, you can't do with what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have to do something totally different
Yeah.
because I done sold the business. So yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
Well, you said that you wanted to have a legacy.
Hmm.
So, what impact do you hope to have on the fashion industry, especially for marginalized communities?
What impact?
Yeah.
So I want to be able to offer high end fashion at a reasonable price, but I also want to be able to always offer custom services as well. So what I plan to do is separate the two businesses. So it's going to be an An Valenti custom prints, but also An Valenti. So I want customers to always be able to come in, get high fashionable comfortable wear, like leisure wear. So I'm more
Mhm.
so fall into the leisure wear industry. So I want customers to come in, get high fashion, leisure love wear, but at the same time be able to leave out my store and get some custom services if their son is having a little league football game and they need
Mhm.
some T-shirts and Aunt Betty might have passed away and they need some obituaries or
Yeah.
or some T-shirts. Like I want to be able to have a person walk in my store and leave out of there satisfied with something
And exactly what they want and
and
exactly
exactly
what
what
they
they want
need.
and
Yeah.
exactly what they need. So like I said, that is something that most businesses do not offer.
Yeah. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who feel discouraged about starting their own ventures?
So the only way to do it is to do it. So sometimes you have to jump off the cliff and
Mhm.
build wings on the way down. That is the
Mhm.
best advice to give because there's no such thing as a perfect time.
Yeah.
If you wait for a perfect time, you will never start. The only way to do it is to do it. I'm telling you, just jump
Mhm.
off the cliff. You might hit a tree branch, you might hit this, you might hit that, but just as you're falling, you'll rise and you might fall, and you'll rise and you'll fall. But the goal is just don't hit the ground.
Yeah.
So you just have to just jump. Like that's the only way. And do not wait for a perfect time. There's no such thing as that.
I definitely feel that, and I feel like I can definitely attest for that with this podcast, just because I'm a talker. Like if anybody knows me, I will literally sit here and have an unpaid lecture and talk to people for 80 years and stuff like that. And even with like we're sitting here with these mics that I brought from Amazon, and at first I wasn't even going to start the pod because I'm like, oh, I need these specific podcast mics that has the best quality. I need a podcast camera that has the best quality. Right now, we're recording on the iPhone. Um, Recording in my mom's living room. I mean, yes, it's a nice setup, but at first I'm like, I need to get a podcast studio. I need this. I need that. I need an editor. I need all of this stuff. And right before I had my interview with Jared, I brought these mics. They literally came the day before I had this interview, and they weren't even the right mics. They didn't even fit my phone. So I was scrambling and all this extra stuff. But look at me 3 months later, still using the same mics because I found the solution. And I always say that perfectionism is procrastination disguised. If you keep trying to seek perfection, you're still going to have to start at square one. It's not like you're going to have everything planned out and then you're going to start and then boom, everything's going to be exactly how you wanted it to be. No, you can plan and plan and plan and plan, but you're still going to have to start at nothing and you're
Can
still
I
going to have to work your way
can
up.
I cut you off for a second? I loved what you just said. So just say, hey guys, it's my daughter, I raised a rail, I got a little moment. But that's a very interesting point that you just made, guys. Did you hear what she just said? She said perfectionism is a form of procrastination. Like just think about what that means. Because that is so true. And that's why I said what I said. Because people that always want things to be perfect, that is a way of it's fear.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a fear type of thing because it's like, you know, it because we all know that there's no such thing as the perfect time.
Yeah.
So if you use that as an excuse,
It just pushes you
it just
further and
pushes you
further
further and
back.
further back, but also gives you a reason not to start.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting point that you just made, and I love that point. And guys, like I said, do not procrastinate. Like
Yeah.
Siani said, it is a way to, don't wait for perfection because it just holds you back. Just like I
Yeah.
said, You got to jump off that cliff and build your wings on the way down. That's what I did with my business. Like honestly, I didn't even think like as confident as I am, as self-aware as I am, and as good as I feel about myself, I thought to myself, can I do this? Is people want to actually buy my stuff as well respected as I am, as much as I'm liked and people, like me and and I have a likability to me. It was something in me though that wondered,
Can
can
you
I
do
do
this?
this?
Yeah.
And I had to get over that
Same.
fear instantly and say, whatever. So I utilized my likability because that is important when you're in business. You don't have to be, loved by everybody, but having a certain type of likability is important. So I use my likability and my fashion sense and my witty thought process and just did what I needed to do.
And actually, like honestly, that's the same for me. Like I did not think like I'm telling y'all, if I didn't get the confirmation that I got, I probably would not be here with this episode. Like I started this podcast, people have been coming out the woodworks. Like, you have inspired me to start talking more. You have inspired me to make a podcast. I love the message that you're putting out there. I'm like, me,
Hmm.
me, like Siani, like I'm out here changing lives, like, and it's like so heartwarming. It's like if you have a podcast, you want any tips, you want anything, like I want I want to be a part of it. Like if you want me to come speak on your podcast, you want to come speak on here, like I'm like I want that. Like I definitely want to inspire. I definitely just want to speak life into people and stuff like that. So I just also want to like take a minute to thank y'all because y'all are the reason that I'm still sitting up. Y'all are the reason that we're still sitting here talking and
Right.
that I'm still pushing with this podcast. Like I just appreciate the support. Like, and it takes nothing to support nobody. It takes it's free. Support is free. Unless you want me to make a cash app for this and you want to send me some money for support.
Okay.
Like no. But support
Should have
is
put it in the
free.
corner of the
Yeah,
screen.
hey, do you have a minute? Sponsor
Oh,
me.
you have it? You have a
No,
cash
I don't
app
have a
for you?
cash app.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But
Oh, I did. It was the real An Valenti.
yo, I'm crying.
The real An Valenti.
No, but I just do want to thank y'all and I
Mhm.
kind of want to shift
Okay.
the podcast. So I have a couple of like quick fire fun questions.
Let's do it.
So, all right. What is your favorite piece you ever designed?
My favorite piece I ever designed. So I made these custom basketball shorts for my friend. He's an artist. His name is James Knight.
Period,
Um,
Jeeves. Period.
James. So they were made out of like
Hmm.
like a sequin material. And oh my god, he wore these out. He had like this fur coat on with it, and everybody was just looking. He had wore these white Gucci sneakers with the gold in it, and it was like a gold sequence. The ball shorts was so. Those was like so fire. And I was like so
Number one.
proud.
That's number
Yeah,
one.
that was like that's the off the top of my head I can think of quickly. Something that I was like really excited about. That's
Okay.
yeah.
If you could collaborate with any designer or brand, who would it be and why?
My favorite designer, actually, he's no longer here, but it's
Virgo.
Virgo. It's
Virgil. I
Virgil.
knew you was gonna say
I
that.
love when I tell you it's something about off white, like his. It's the simplicity. It's the thought outness of the using the street signs. It's the using the tags as far as the sneakers. It's the these shoes are made for walking. Like I just feel like his brand is such a well thought out brand. Like I feel like his brand is kind of like how like my brand is, like how like my brand is all things An Valenti with the heart. An Valenti is my name. Virgil's it's like street signs, like streetwear, but he incorporated the street signs. And if I could have worked with anybody, and if whoever's running his brand now, I would love to work with them. Like I would love to. That would be my dream,
Okay.
absolute dream.
Period.
Yeah,
Period. What's a quote or mantra you live by?
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I got it tatted on my chest right here, and that's I go by that because it's just gonna always be what it is. Like it's
Mhm.
never gonna be what it's not.
Period.
So
It is what it is. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
don't wait for perfection. Like we said,
Yeah.
I feel like when I was young. See, that's kind of like yeah. I would have just started, but I had such a unique upbringing. Even trying to start would have been difficult. But
Yeah.
if I could go back, I would just say start, because I feel like we hold ourselves up waiting for the perfect time. And when I was younger, I really was stuck on that thought process of, oh, this ain't the right time. This got to be done. This got to be done right. This got to be,
Just start.
and right, just start.
All right. And also, this is something new that I want to start doing at the end of all my podcasts. So right now, we're going to take a minute and we're going to manifest what you want to see in your life and your business in the future, whether it's next year, whether it's in 5 years. You just want to take a maybe 30 seconds to manifest.
An Valenti is a household name. An Valenti is in every store. An Valenti is in, everywhere. An Valenti is successful. An Valenti, makes unlimited revenue. An Valenti also gives back to the community in abundance. An Valenti nonprofit organization is doing amazing. An Valenti also, wants to inspire. An Valenti is also, because that's important, because you have to speak as if it's so. An Valenti is also inspiring other brands to become a brand and to become a household name. An Valenti is all things An Valenti, and always will be, and always will continue to be.
Period. And I'm a manifest for the podcast. Hey, do you have a minute? We'll be successful.
You have to say is.
Oh.
You have to, when we're manifesting, we speak as if it's so.
Okay. Hey, do you have a minute? Is successful. Hey, do you have a minute? Interviews everybody who Siani wants to interview. Hey, do you have a minute? Has such a great impact and changes lives for people, or changes people's lives in the future. Hey, do you have a minute? Will be sponsored and will be paid for collaborations and ads. Hey, do you have a minute?
It is sponsored
Is
and paid
sponsored
for.
and is paid for.
We're just waiting for
with
the email
ads.
confirmation.
Period. Hey, do you have a minute? Is my main source of income and helps and is the reason that I'm financially free and able to live my life how I would like to live my life. Buy my house, buy my car, get the money. Hey, do you have a minute? Is a big podcast name. Everybody knows about it. And it is just a great health and wellness and faith podcast. And everyone loves it and everyone supports it. Period.
Hey, do you have a minute? Also sponsors An Valenti.
No. Not my manifestation. It's like, no.
Well, An Valenti Sports. An Valenti is also sponsoring. Hey, do you have a minute?
Yeah.
We're sponsoring. We're sponsoring them right now.
Yeah. Like that. But thank y'all so much for watching. I truly hope that y'all enjoyed this message. Like I said, I'm going to put An Valenti's Instagram page up in the corner so that y'all can message her, reach out to her if you
But
have
also
any
my nonprofit.
questions. Her nonprofit. I'll put all of that information. If you have any questions about anything, you can get in contact with me, or you can directly get in contact with An Valenti. Either one, it does not matter. And I just do want to thank y'all for tapping in and joining today. I hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope that y'all gained some knowledge and wisdom from this episode and that it was an engaging and funny episode. If y'all cannot tell by now, this is my mom. I did not want to say that in the beginning of the podcast because I'm like, hey, I'm interviewing my mom. Like, that's not cool. So I'm just like, introduce yourself and don't say I'm your mom.
Leave in the comments, y'all, what y'all think about her mom.
Put in the comments if y'all think we look alike, because a lot of my friends say that we look like twins and I literally just like don't see it.
She got on makeup, y'all, so you know.
But I'm just like think that I'm the better looking version, but
she wish.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I guess that's your mantra that you live by. So whatever. But yeah, thank y'all so much. I hope that y'all enjoyed this episode and stay tuned for our next episodes. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for having me, Siani.
Period. I loved having you on here. Bye guys. Have a great one.